Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. So I want to talk about something that I think is very hypocritical. This is leading up to a video that I'm going to do tomorrow on backsliding. I'm going to break it down for y'all, man, because in the church, in the Christian church in particular, people want to feel like somehow they more righteous than others. In some cases, they might be. They might be living a more exclusively righteous life in the presence of the Most High God. But I assure you that they got a lot of this wrong. I assure you that. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But right now, I want to talk about some of the paganism in Christianity and some of the heathenism, you being like the heathen, but yet it's making you being hypocritical for some of the things and some of the reasons that I'm about to talk about in this short video. Here's the thing. Christians always talking about, like, even in the sanctimonious aspect of Protestantism, living holy, living right? They focus on things like gambling that it's not mentioned in terms of the law. Sin is the breaking of the law. It's no law that says you can't play a lottery number, so it therefore is not a sin. But for some people, they make it that way. And the hypocrisy I want to talk about is how you go to their house, they got Christmas decoration, they got Santa Claus, they got reindeer, they got Christmas trees, but yet they say they living holy. See, I was in the Church of God in Christ. This is one of the things that I noticed early. And I'm not going to bash them because some of them, they got it down, some of them. But a lot of them was very hypocritical and very mean and funny acting. Mean-spirited, funny acting, trying to compete. Like, that's why I told the wife at the time, we still married and stuff like that, but at the time I told her, I said, man, I'm not feeling them no more. Let's find a different church. And it was a lot of reasons for it. One, I don't know what they doing. One, it's like they were competing. Like they was making everything into a competition. And the dude, he's the pastor now. Like when we did a tag team our tag team couples. And after that, it just seemed like they start acting different. Like some of them was acting funny before that. But after that, they start acting. See, that's the thing about when you go to these churches, man, if you're not like a direct family member, or you're not like a family friend, you might as well just go start your own. Now, they'll try to discourage you from starting your own church. Let's go over here so people won't be all in my face. They'll try to discourage you from starting your own church because they want to be able to say they sent you forward. But there's nothing nowhere that says a person who decides to start a church can't. Let's go back here. If that's what you want to do, you can go right ahead. Because when you stand before God, you're going to get judged for everything you do. And you're going to get judged for all the motives for everything you do. So, excuse me. So, if you choose to start a church, you just choose to start a church. I would say just make sure your doctrine is solid. Make sure you know what you're talking about, because that's a main problem. A lot of people, they just be talking. They just be saying what their granddaddy said. Not looking at, maybe your granddaddy was wrong, They don't look at it like that. So, they got Graven images all in their house, and that's a commandment not to have. But you go to most of these churches and they focusing on things that ain't even a commandment. It ain't even saying that you can't do it. You say, well, that it wasn't going on back then. Man, come on, man. There's nothing new under the sun. There was a form of everything going on back then. You just want control. This is what they want. They want control over people's money and control over people's mind. You know. So it became a competition thing. And I told her, I said, man, let's go find a different church. Because like we was debating in Sunday school because they was saying stuff that I know just was not from God, man. Like I know how the Most High is. Like I know like how he judges because I studied this stuff for years, forwards and backwards. And they was trying to make him into somebody else. So the chick was like, so you telling me if you saw somebody smoking a cigarette, you wouldn't go up to them and tell them they wasn't saved? I said, how would I know if he's saved or not? He could just be smoking cigarettes. And it could be a thing where maybe he just haven't stopped smoking cigarettes yet. You know? And it's like we was debating, like, and it's like they was taking sides and stuff, and it started reminding me of high school, and I ain't like high school like that for that reason. And so, we just left. The hypocrisy that I was seeing was making me want to leave. Like, the Bible tell you clear you shall not commit adultery. Yet these dudes who always want to talk about drinking and smoking and gambling was all up in other dudes' wives' faces at church. And I'm looking at them like, dude, that's a no exceptions. And I'm looking at them like, dude, these dudes they ain't about that. They ain't real. See, one thing about me, I always want to keep it real. That's one of the main things with me. Sometimes you suffer for keeping it real. People don't like you. People don't support you. You get more support and you get more further when you act fake. But I just ain't never been like that, man. That's just not how I do things. So they got all these graven images, but they want to talk about drink. Man, the Bible makes it clear you can drink. The disciples drunk. That's why they was always accusing them of being drunk. So you got to know your Bible history, man. They came up to Peter, Cephas, and said that he was drunk. And he didn't say, I don't drink. You know what he said? He said, we're not drunk. It's only 9 in the morning. Now, I'm not, hey, do you, man. But what we have to do is we have to stick to what we really supposed to be knowing this sin, not what we think or what your pastor think or what your granddaddy think, but what it really is. See, this is what they'll do. They pastor will talk about how he don't gamble right, but then he'll get caught with somebody else's wife. You might as well do everything. You don't gamble, which the Bible isn't really clear on, and it doesn't talk as if that's a problem. In fact, you want to go there? The parable of 10 talents condones it. Read that parable, man. But these same dudes, they'll stick with them when they get caught in adultery. These pastors be out here making babies. They be rainbow, all type of stuff. You can't tell me because I know what they do. I'm an insider. You can't tell me what they don't do. I'm an insider, man. So I just been kind of disconnected, but like back in the 2000s, back in the 90s, you can't tell me about these women pastors. There was one woman pastor that was jocking me, and she knew I was married. Listen, man, the hypocrisy is real out here. That's why I don't, like, if somebody tell me, oh, I'm saved, this, that, I just say, okay, I don't judge them or nothing. But if they start judging me, then I'm going to judge them. Like, because the Bible says, judge ye not, lest ye be judged. So if they start judging me, then I'm going to judge them. I'm going to judge them. I'm going to be like, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show them how to judge. Show them. Like, the wife, what John the Baptist, why they killed John the Baptist? Because John the Baptist knew that Herod was married to his brother's wife, and his brother, I don't think, was even dead at the time. And so when he confronted him about that, Herod used his might and his political position to arrest John the Baptist. That was funny on the movie. I love watching them movies, man. He said, I got a charge to bring you to something. And John the Baptist said, I got a charge to bring you to God, heathen. Oh, man, them movies was something else, boy. They was fighting him in the water like that. I'm telling you, biblical history was way more violent than people believe. Way more violent. I went over the time, but I need to kind of talk about this some more. It was way more violent than people believe. And so, if I got a Christian or a Muslim or anything, I'm not going to disrespect their faith. I'm not going to sit there, if I know something, I'm not going to just battle them and try to convince them. I'm just going to be like, okay. And that's going to be the end of it. I'm not going to try to change what people believe. But if you going to be with me, in my church, though, we're going to have a sit down. We're going to have to find out, because all that discord, you ain't going to have the physical healings or the blessing or any of that when you got that discord. If for the Most High to use me to physically heal, the people that's there have to believe that I could do it, and they have to support me like that. If you got a bunch of discord, people who don't believe in you and stuff like that, for instance, my relatives, it's too late for them. It's too late. When I get to doing this stuff, they're not going to be invited, because stuff done happened to them where I could have laid hands and they could have recovered, and they ain't even called me. So when I start doing it, they not invited, because all that's going to be is discord. You got to have people in there to say, all right, this is what we finna make this happen. This is why the church ain't healing nobody. Because they too judgmental, they too funny acting, they too evil. They ain't got no love in their heart. It's just a competition thing. So you can't take them to the modern church and somebody get healed. They too hypocritical. They self-righteous. They setting up their own law. And all of these things is the reasons why we don't see the physical healings in the church. Even underneath your own roof. If the people under your roof don't believe that you could do that, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta touch and agree. You can't just, I can heal myself all day, all night. But when you start involving other people, now it's gonna get a little bit more tedious, because those are different wills. Those people have their own will. W-I-L-L. So, all these reasons why I stopped deciding long ago that I ain't gonna deal with the church. And even now, I'm doing my own thing. I'm not trying to affiliate with any zero. Now, if they affiliate with me and we have a sit down and we vibe and we got a connection, that's different. But right now, I ain't seeing it that way with zero pastor, zero. That includes YouTube, that includes regular everyday life. I don't see it that way, because what happens is people don't want to see you how the Most High see you. The Most High look at you as a prophet. They don't want to look at you like that. And they think the prophets were perfect. They wasn't. But what it really be is they just be wanting to disqualify you. That's what it really be. So when I do my thing, I really don't bother with people like that, because people, even in a marriage, man, you a lot of times that blessing ain't gonna be there if the respect ain't there, if the love ain't there. The blessing is gonna like kind of moving around. So, you know, you gotta look at stuff like that. But I want to keep talking about for a couple more minutes how a lot of these Christians, especially the Protestant, the Catholic, they got their hypocrisy too. They talk about the love of Christ and all this, but then they be acting racist towards blacks and stuff like that. I don't want to hear nothing about your religion if you racist. I don't. Like, because that's like the main thing. If you racist, you not there. And I ain't talking about something happened and you address it. That's not racism. I'm talking about you have a dislike and a hatred towards certain races or other races. You ain't there. You ain't there. Like I say, I do my own thing for many reasons, and the main reason is just the hypocrisy is just too much. Like, all of us have hypocritical behavior at times, but some people, hypocrisy is off the chart. You talking about how holy you is, and you will lay down with somebody else's wife. See, even when I wasn't a believer, even when I was in sin, I wasn't with that little messing with guys' girlfriend and messing with guys' wives. I'm just not, man. Like, and if you somebody's wife, you might as well just take your eyes elsewhere. Take your eyes elsewhere. And if even a concubine, like, I don't want to even make a woman that's been married before a concubine. Like, I want it to be somebody who has not been married before. Because if she's been married before, 9 times out of 10, her divorce was unlawful before God. Oh, well, we just didn't get along. Unlawful before God. I don't need that in my house, because the devil will go right before God. He's committing adultery. He's married to somebody else's wife who was unlawfully divorced. Yeah, gotta keep the devil away. See, the thing about the devil is you got to learn how to keep him. You see, people don't know how the devil accuses people. Like, if you could have like a dragon statue in your house, and the devil would think, I have access, I have a right to that house because he got that dragon in there. See, that's why I say people be hypocritical. They be having dragons, all type of stuff. The Last Supper plaque with white Jesus. Show me somebody that was white back then in those lands. Crickets. Show me somebody. That's all graven images, man. Graven images. If anything, they should have a Last Supper picture with all the faces blacked out, with X's or question marks right there. Then it wouldn't be graven image. But some of these people, I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. Yep. And you got, here comes Santa Claus. You got reindeer. You got Last Supper plaques with white Jesus. You got the blue-eyed Jesus hanging up on your wall. Yeah. Yeah, that's commandments. See, while you focusing on the lottery, show me the lottery in any of the 10 commandments. Where is that? Where is casinos in the 10 commandments? Where's Michelob in the 10 commandments? Huh? Huh? Yeah. It's a matter of personal. And listen, that's your personal belief. It's not biblical. Huh? Show me that where that was grape juice that they turned water into wine. Huh? You know what, man? This is what I did to these hypocrites.